So are we all here? Are we ready to start? Shall we wait for a minute or so while the teachers are coming online with video?
Yes, ma'am. Just let me confirm.
Ma'am, everyone is here from grade 1. Everybody.
Anupriya has joined?
Yes, ma'am. She is saying that she
Okay,
has
ma'am.
not-
Now you. Okay, dear. Thank you. Yeah. Ma'am, we can start, ma'am. All are there.
Okay. Okay, there are three, four more teachers probably getting ready. Please come on the video as soon as. Yeah. Okay, so maybe the last time we had a small discussion with a few of us who were here also, in which one of the points that was kind of also brought up was that this particular time of the year, you are also focusing on areas of, on the topic of data handling and time and calendar and such like, right? I think in class 1 and then in class 2, these are some of the areas. So what we thought initially was that we could try and see how to connect it to some of the other things that we had done. But anyway, so we'll see how we are able to do it. Um, One of the things that we have been trying to talk about in the last few sessions is the fact that whatever topic we take, right? We have been focusing so far on numbers and number operations, if you like. But even if we take something like data handling, there is a certain aspect of it which we would consider kind of foundational, right? Okay. So when we are planning what kind of a processes to introduce in the classroom and what we are observing our children for, we try to keep in mind whether these foundational aspects how they are coming in. So we thought we would try and have some conversations around these areas today. Yeah, is that all right? Is that okay, teachers? Yeah. The I think this was as per suggestions which we had got. So yeah, okay. So maybe Neha, you were thinking we were thinking we'll start maybe from listening to all of you. How are you planning? What are the kind of things you have planned for both for time and calendar and class 1? I think data handling if you're doing. Even class 2 can say what they had done earlier for data handling. What are the kind of things you have planned? How are you going about doing these topics in the classroom? Can you all share? Shall we start with class 1?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am. First, we introduce the topic of data handling among the students, and we take step by step, like explaining what is the importance of data, how do we collect data, and how do we use data, then representation of data, analysis of data, how to read the data. Students first go through them, and we do it on the basis of in a practical manner. For example, we start with the general discussion that suppose we put up a question in the class ki, which is your favorite. We give them 4 options, like which is your favorite flavor of the ice cream. So students say, ma'am, strawberry, mango. So we give them 4 options, and then we tell them, okay, now okay, most of the kids say mango. Now how do we know how many kids like strawberry, how many kids like mango? So now then we basically link it with the data handling. Data handling helps us in like reading the data, and on the basis of that data we can make it out how many students like mango, how many students like strawberry flavor, how many like vanilla, and which one is the most favorite one.
And I will add one more thing. Like we take the example, like live example from attendance, like how many students are present. Like in online classes, we can every child knows about the attendees, so they can count how many boys are there, how many girls are there. So they can just collect the data accordingly. So this way also I have planned it in my class when I will take this activity. I'll be doing that.
Basically, we collect the pictures also. We ask students to draw the pictures of their favorite flavor of the ice cream. Then we put up on the board and then we try to explain them using those pictures, like using the stick-ons, so that they get a clear picture of data handling.
So, if I can ask, so when you say that children would write down which is they would actually draw a picture of the flavor of the ice cream that they like, and the same thing you would correspondingly you would put it on the board. Okay, and then there is a discussion following that about how you went about it.
Because ma'am, in grade 1 they are doing the pictograph only. They are not doing any
Okay.
bar graph. They are just doing
Okay.
pictographs. So we link it to that only.
I actually have that pictograph in my class right now. So if you want, I can show you that also. Wait a minute. I'll show you if it's visible. Is it visible?
Yeah, just about. So that's number of students on one side, and what is the thing below?
It's their ice cream, juice, milkshake, or a mango slice. We gave them the options, and they themselves, I gave them the chits also. So they drew like if they like mango juice or ice cream. There were 4 options. So they chose one option. Then they came here and they pasted in the same column, whichever they like.
Nice. Okay. And you could do this within, so this was like done over 1 or 2 classes, or how did you plan it? How was it done? Within one class, you could do this?
I guess everybody did that in.
No, everybody, grade 1, everybody has done this. In every class, this chart will be there.
But within one period, I mean to say. So basically,
Yeah,
they all
yeah.
came and then they. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Very nice.
Just wanted to check, when we are saying they all came and did it, the classes are happening online, right?
Apparently
No,
not.
this is the chart of the previous session.
Okay.
That's what I was wondering actually. I was also thinking that I thought, okay, maybe they drew the picture, maybe you made also similarly and you stuck it or something. I was wondering how that.
Okay.
This year's
Shikha.
chart.
Shiva ma'am,
Yes,
Shiva
yes.
ma'am,
Yeah. Yes, we did it in our class. Yes, Shikha ma'am, you can show that. Share that chart with
yes.
ma'am.
Can you see this?
Yes, we can see. This is our class, ma'am. I and Shikha, my ma'am, we both have done this. So I
Okay.
have written who likes this. I have, have made the cutouts of ice cream, strawberry, then yellow, orange. I have given it to everyone, and those who want those, they have taken the choices. So they have given me, ma'am, you paste it here that way. So that way we have collected 3 columns. We have made
How many
strawberry,
students
mango.
like strawberry ice cream?
हाँ.
How many like
थोड़ा
mango
सा
and how
नीचे Shikha ma'am.
chocolate flavor? Like this. Now fine.
So so the pictures you had made and stuck it, is it?
Yes.
This is
We
from
have
this
given.
year, I presume.
We have made the cutouts and we have kept it on the table, and accordingly they have selected which flavor they want, and then they have told us, ma'am, I want, because they cannot paste it, so we have pasted it. Like we both were taking the class, so one teacher was pasting and we were taking the collections from the students. This is how we did it this was the introductory lesson.
Nice. Okay. Anybody else would like to share? So this is the class you've already done, and you're planning another follow-up class, Vibha ma'am, with looking at
No, the ma'am, no.
No,
This
ma'am.
was done when we were like in school.
Last year.
Now, last year. For
We'll be
sessions
doing data handling.
but today, I mean, for this session, this is online class. So, like she has planned it this month, we have data handling, or maybe the next, in the month of February, we will be taking this lesson. So, accordingly, we will plan now online classes. It is very different. So, now we are going to plan it how to take it. Now, that's why we have taken ideas, like you told us that you will be sharing some ideas with us. So let's see.
Yeah,
how
we are
it
also
works.
trying to
So
work out
we
for
will also
online.
amalgamate, like whatever you say, you give your feedback, or you give you will be surely, teaching us some activities. So we will be incorporating in our online classes. Definitely.
Maybe we can talk about it together also, no?
Yeah, definitely. That's what we like. The
How we
teachers
can
are
do it.
sharing the one which they have done it in the class. They
Yeah.
are showing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this chart that Shikha ma'am showed was also from last year, that means.
Yes,
right?
everything is that whatever
Oh,
they
okay.
are showing it right now, it was from the last year. itself.
Last year.
Because
So
this
for-
year we have not started on data handling.
All right.
We will be doing it the coming month. Yeah.
All right. So one idea which Vibha ma'am has shared for this year, if we talk about how do we think for this year, because things are quite different now, right? The kind of the way we conduct the activities last year, we've had to sort of rethink. So one of the ideas Vibha ma'am shared for this year was looking at the number of children coming into class every day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that one thing that you were saying?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Because children can
Because this is
read
one of
the
the
name
contexts which we thought of also. So how to operationalize it, we got a bit stuck there. But this was one of the things that we were actually also thinking about.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. Anybody else want to share any ideas for how you data handling this year?
Basically, we can relate that how many students like the online classes, how many would prefer the real classes. We can take that also.
You will get an overwhelming response.
Get the real picture, no?
Right.
And they all will say that we like online classes.
Is it? I think you'll be surprised. Okay. Yeah. All right. So context, what are the contexts we can take this year that might also change because the situation is very different this year. Also, maybe right now, talking about ice cream might be a little difficult in Ghaziabad, isn't it? I don't know how many children would like to eat any flavored ice cream right now at this time of the year. So we may have to think of something maybe a little bit which is warm, or maybe some soup or something else which is more appropriate for this. Okay, anyway, so maybe we can come back to it. Class 2 teachers, would you like to share? Maybe how you took up data handling also, and about time and calendar, I think was one of the topics that you're dealing with.
Ma'am, data handling is almost the same which grade 1 has shared with us. That introduction part is always the same one. Maybe it is attendance, how many, number of students are present and absent, and then their favorite fruits or favorite food or something like that. That is the introductory part. And then secondly, we focus on that why it is important to organize, data or something, why we need an organization in every work. And third part is through pictographs also. And in grade 2, we are introducing them the telemarks, that how to calculate through with the help of telemarks. So for data handling, we are not going into so much of deep, but only how to organizing the data and how the collecting and then interpreting with the help of pictographs or something like that. And for time and calendar, we start with the making of a clock, like activity that where they can show the minute hand, the hour hand. And then we focus on the half past, then quarter to quarter past. And similarly, when we're talking about the calendar, so it begins with the making of a calendar or making of a timetable later to, so that they will get the knowledge of the days also and how to plan their time accordingly. So this is how we start with these concepts, and then the workbook work and or any sheet or like that.
Okay. So anybody else wants to add from class 2 for data handling or for time and calendar? Any further ideas?
Actually, the activities that we used to like, our activities are quite different from what grade 1 does. But again, the concept remains the same. For example, like we have a theme in IPC from A to B where we do different types of transport. So while we are doing that theme, we make a chart where we write down the means of transports which children they are using while commuting from their home to school. So that is how they are actually able to put the tally marks as to whether they are using bus or scooty or whatever means of transport they are using. And then by the end of week, they try to tally it as to how many students are commuting with bus or van or scooty. And the same goes for the workbooks as well. So I think we did one activity last year where since some of the students were not carrying workbooks on regular basis, so just to make sure that they all observe what all books they are missing on a daily basis, so we asked them to make a telemark chart where they were actually writing it down whether they were having. So if there's a day when they are not carrying their English workbook, so they used to miss that day. So by the end of the week, they were able to track that like these were the number of days where I was actually carrying my math notebook, and these were the number of days when I was not carrying my English workbook. So they themselves started regulating their practice of carrying workbooks and notebooks on daily basis. So that was another activity. And I think the favorite subjects, that's the common one, the activity which they like the most. So if it is dance or their art period, so they just pen down that telemarking in the specific categories. So that's it.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing, teacher. So actually, Neha and I were also just having a discussion recently about what might be, like the way all of you are also saying, what might be the appropriate kind of a context and what might be the kind of ways in which we can do it in this online setup also, right? So maybe before we get into it though, just maybe a couple of remarks on, so when we talk about data handling, and I think all of you have talked about how we organize the data, right? Organize the data and represent the data. So one is data, being able to get data, to be able to sort it, to sift it, that is to organize it, and then also figure out a way of representing it. And in some sense, if we look at it, what is the kind of the crucial part of it, if we look at it, right? In terms of understanding, in terms of looking at it, what is kind of the crucial part of it? So one very important shift we have already all of us said, which is that, it's not about only reading and interpreting data. It is also about ourselves organizing it, right? So I think all the activities that you have talked about here are about getting data ourselves. They're all, I think here, in fact, each one of the activities you mentioned are related to data which children are collecting based on their own life or whatever, something which is happening around them. And then they're doing it. Because the other side of it is also that sometimes a table is given to you and you're asked to interpret it. So one thing which, of course, I think all of us are already agreed on, based on what you've all said, is that which should come first. We are saying that children should have the opportunity for, getting their own data and organizing it first. I think that's something which we clearly, I think there is an understanding, right? Yeah. So now the other part of it which comes is that even in this aspect, what is the critical part? What is the really the critical part, the important part, or which is the part which reflects really the understanding in. So maybe we can open it up for discussion later, but just putting a statement out there that I think one aspect of it is that you may get data and you may sort it in very, very different ways, right? The same data, you can organize it in very, very different ways. And maybe we can look at examples of how the same data can be organized in different ways. Maybe we'll do it today or not, I don't know. But we can organize it in very different ways. And the choice of organization depends on what is the question. Like Shitu ma'am asked this question about, which is the, no, actually, no, that's not a good one example here. But anyway, so the choice of the way you organize it depends. Second aspect is the way you represent. And this is where actually I wanted to use your example. The way you represent depends on what is the kind of a question or what is the kind of a thing we are doing. So for example, if you are looking at how many days did you miss to bring a book or whatever it might be, you may not want to make a pie chart out of it or a bar chart out of it. Tally mark is the method of representation or the way of organizing. In fact, tally mark is not a way of representing, it's more a way of, actually sorting the data, which is most useful. Correct. So the idea of which is the method you would use to do it is actually the critical part. Usually what happens is that your one is already given. Key is data, this is a data, you collect the data, now you show it in bar chart. Now this is there, now show it in pie chart. So you're already given and you're just doing it. But why did you do this in bar chart and not pie chart? Why this one, in a table form and not a chart? Why here are you using tally mark instead of something else, instead of a table? No? So for each kind of a question, isn't it so? What do you all think? क्या जो शीतू मैम ने जो सवाल पूछा about missing a workbook, उसके लिए हम table use करेंगे लिखने के लिए? क्यों नहीं करेंगे? I mean, whether we do it or not, why or why not?
Table
Why is
as in?
tally mark a better? Sorry?
Table as in?
Making a table and writing it, na? Okay, on Monday I got this book. Tuesday, you can make a table for anything, right? To write data, you can always try to make a table. And which kind of table also we can discuss. Why tally mark and not a table to, show it? So for example, I can make a table Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and put a tick or a cross, right? Which day I got or I didn't get it. Or something else. So why, and also, for example, Sheetu ma'am chose this question when she wanted to do tally. Why did she not choose some other question? Why this particular question? Na? So for which questions do you use tally, right? To actually keep track. Which for when do we use tally to keep track?
Maybe when we have to collect the data. When we are collecting the data, at that time we use the tally marks. Maybe in the form of numbers or something like that.
And I think the whole purpose of having data handling is to have the data in an organized manner and not in bits and pieces. So if we are not doing the tally marking and if we are just maintaining the data like the way we also do, at times we also follow the tally marks, like even we as teachers do it, because it is very easy to track. Like the representation that we have in front of us, like you don't need to be that calculative in order to understand or comprehend whatever data you have with you. So it's the easiest way, like that is what I believe.
And I'll add in this, because kids are doing counting, it is very easy for them to count. So by counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, that is easier for them. So that is why we use most. I mean, young children, they use counting, tally marks.
Also with this, Vibha ma'am, I
Yeah.
would like to again add, so when they make tally marks, so they know that they have that group of 5. So generally, if you draw the lines, like if I am drawing 20 straight lines, like 20 vertical lines, like then I have to count one by one. When I am having bundles with me, it is very easy to, see that I have bundles of 5, that to 4. So
Yeah,
it is
they can
easy. That's,
visualize. They can
yes,
visualize
yes.
5,
That's
5, 10, that way.
better representation. Visual representation is better in that case.
So I think already some very important points, which is one of the things which you are saying is that it is when you are getting data. So when you are getting data, meaning when it is happening in real time, na? तो कुछ हो रहा है, आप साथ में note करते जा रहे हैं, right? If the data is already in terms of a list, maybe you may not. Do you think it will come? Will you make a tally mark for it? Jesse, for example, I have a list of people with something, na? Some preferences or something. उसके लिए क्या हम tally mark करके करेंगे? Here also you're getting data, but would you make a tally mark at that time?
I think we will write numbers directly at that time.
Right. So you can say that already some level of data has been already got, and then you are doing the next step. So definitely, I think like Shikha ma'am is saying, at that time you would just directly write the number. Why should you again put another line and then go through it? So maybe as Lali ma'am is saying is also you are getting data, but you are getting data in real time. तो आप track रखने के लिए साथ में आप उसको tally mark में use कर रहे हैं. So I think partly we want children to be able to understand and use it, but if they have to understand why you use tally mark, we have to also give them different questions where they see कि अच्छा यहाँ पर tally mark करना है, यहाँ पर करने का कोई जरूरत नहीं है ना. So where they are able to themselves figure out कि कैसे उसको लिखना चाह रहे हैं. How do they go about wanting to write it themselves, right? How do they want to? So children should be involved in the conversation about which is the form of representation or which is the form of organization that they're doing. Right? So I think that's one of the things that we want to do. So we thought of a simple kind of a context. Maybe we can get into it. It's quite, I think, something similar maybe to what you're all also talking about. We were thinking that, children are really far away from all their friends, right? This whole year. And otherwise, children, when they come to school together, they have a lot of time to, interact with each other. They have, they have chances to celebrate together. They have a lot of possibilities. But in the last 1 year, it's been, we have all been so distanced from each other, physically distanced, that children may be also missing. तो कुछ कॉन्टेक्स्ट लेके आ सकते हैं जिसमें थोड़ा सा एक मिलके सोचने का भी एक दूसरे के साथ where you can also connect with each other का भी कुछ एक गुंजाइश हो. So we'll share that with you, and it's a kind of a simple kind of a thing only. So maybe, I don't know, in the class we would have to already think of somebody, but here I'm going to say Neha because she's here. So, last week, was there something special last week? कुछ special दिन थे last week में? क्या था? What was special last week?
Lodi.
Celebrate किया सभी ने?
Makar Sankranti.
Makar Sankranti and Lodi was there.
Yeah. So some people celebrated Makar Sankranti, some people celebrated Lodi, and here we celebrated Pongal, where I am at right now. So, and in different places, maybe there are other kind of things also, which people call it also, and celebrate. So, but Neha के घर में एक और भी celebration था उस हफ्ते में, पिछले हफ्ते में. Okay. So, क्या हुआ होगा? लोहड़ी और मकर संक्रांति तो उन्होंने celebrate किया ही, but apart from that also she celebrated something.
Maybe birthday or her marriage, wedding or something.
Yeah.
An anniversary or something.
Yeah, it wasn't actually, but I'm just making it up. But it was Neha's birthday last week. Okay, we can even give it a day. Let's say it was her birthday on 12th January. Okay, so so she had double celebration last week. They had not only for Lohri and Makar Sankranti, they had also for this. Yeah, so that was nice. So is there anybody else who also had their birthday maybe on the same day, on 12th of January? Anybody here who has, by chance?
No.
No? Okay. Same like last week. Did anybody else have a birthday?
I had on 16th.
You had on?
16th.
Oh, okay, great. Nice. Really? So happy birthday, actually delayed wishes. So, okay. So the day was not the same. So ma'am had a birthday which was actually different from Neha's. But what shall we say? Can we say that she has the same birth month as Neha?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we say that? Okay, ma'am, can you also just say, sorry, I would like to know your name also. Who said actually that was your?
My name is Anupriya, ma'am. Actually, my name is not reflecting today. I don't know why.
No issues, no issues. Actually, I couldn't also see who was saying. Somehow it was not getting colored. So I was trying to see who was actually speaking also.
Anupriya ma'am, you have joined with KPS ID. I think you have taken the webinar and you have joined with same ID. That's why KPS is written.
Okay, I'll just leave and I'll just change my ID.
No issues, ma'am. You can stay with this thing.
No problem.
Yeah. So Anupriya ma'am, so can we say that Anupriya ma'am and Neha have the same birth month? Yeah. Is there anybody else who has the same birth month as Neha? And wow, Vibha ma'am also. So a lot of celebrations happening in this month, I must say. Okay. So Vibha ma'am and Anupriya ma'am and Neha ma'am. Okay. That's it. I think there are only 3 of us. Okay. Do you think any of us also share a birth month? There might be any of us else also who might be having the, yeah? How shall we find out? Must be the case. Huh? Yes, Archita ma'am? Yes.
Archita ma'am and Swati ma'am, we share the same birth month.
Ah, okay. Nice. And which month is that, ma'am?
June. And I think Kanika ma'am's birthday is also in the same month.
Is it so? Yeah. Okay. So many of us here already know also. And I think this is probably the way it will happen in the class also, right? Children must be knowing each other's birthdays, and so they can be also start sharing. Okay, so shall we see once, shall we try and find out how many of us actually have the same month? Who are all the people who share a birth month? Shall we try and find out? Yeah? Okay, so how shall we go about it? How shall we find out?
We should ask one by one, no, birthday month.
Yeah, should we do that?
No, we can ask January. We'll start from January. Whoever is having on January, they can say, I have January, my birthday is only in this month. That way, then January, February, in the sequence we can go.
Okay, so there are two ways of doing it. So Ladli ma'am is saying that we can, Ladli ma'am, what you said, can you also just share it again?
Actually, I was sharing that we can ask one by one that, okay, Vibha ma'am, Archita, Diksha, like that. Because right now we have a less students.
No, my question is that when we have a class, when you're talking about a class, we have, more students. One by one, if we'll keep on asking, it will take time in this only. So if we ask them that way, that is why I said this. Okay, Ladli ma'am.
Yeah, that is the option. Easy.
But the thing is this, I think maybe we can think about it also. Shall I just try to write randomly? So let me just write something. Okay, I'm not writing the real kind of thing here. So let's suppose I write it the way that Lali ma'am had also said. So Neha, January, which I assumed, and I'm going to stick to that. Okay. So Vibha ma'am also said January. Yeah. And Shitu ma'am. Which month is your birthday?
Mine is September.
If you don't mind sharing.
September.
September. Okay. And Archita ma'am also. Archita ma'am said her birthday was in June. Okay. And so on and so forth. Okay. So this is one way in which we can actually do it. And the other way was that what Vibha ma'am was saying. We can write January, and we can ask who are all the people who have their birthdays in January. Now, first question before we actually do this, what do you think will happen in the class? If we ask children, how shall we go about it? Which one of the two options do you think would come up first? Would come up more readily? Which one is friendlier for children? There are two options which has come up, right? So one is in which
personal. When we ask the student personally, like when is your birthday, that is more personal.
Okay, one is that it's definitely more personal, but also which is, I think, which one do you think children will actually suggest? Which is, more friendlier to children, which is more accessible to children? First or the second
one?
So to say in each person, so Vibha ma'am is saying it in the terms of friendliness, definitely I think that would score, I think the first one would score, but also in terms of accessibility to children, which one would score higher? Which would be most children friendlier to children? Would it be the first one where we're asking each child which month their birthday is, or already writing January and writing which other children who have their birthday?
Second option would be better.
Better meaning?
As in, if we have that motive of collecting the number of students which fall under the category of January, February, then it will be easy for us.
Okay, that might be the case. I don't know who said that, but I think that might be the case. That it is more efficient. It is definitely maybe more efficient. That's what Ladli ma'am and Vibha ma'am are also saying, that the second method might be more efficient, especially if we have a larger group. But my question is from the perspective of children, from the world of children, looking from the way children look at things, which one would they suggest? If we ask them, which one would they suggest? Which is closer to children's in dono mein? So one is that where you write Neha, Vibha, and I think somebody else also had their birthday in January. I've forgotten now. So in June, we are saying Archita ma'am and Kanika ma'am. Writing it like this, would it be what children would suggest first? My handwriting is quite terrible, but
I think the
or
second method is more relatable to children because they will also get to know when's their friend's birthday, and they'll be happy about it. Like, okay, in that way, if we go. And also when you pop up like, okay, how many of you have birthdays in January? You will get more hands up, and it will be easy on our part also to assess like how many of them have the birthdays in January, and they will also get to know who else is sharing the birthday month.
so I think one of the things that we are trying to say is that this, which way should we write it in, right? Should we write it like this or should we write it like that? That is actually the crucial aspect of this activity, right? Isn't it so? So from all that you are saying, actually here is where the real understanding is hidden. Na? So like Ladli ma'am said, if it's a smaller group, you can write like this. Like Vibha ma'am said, if the larger group, you can write it like that. That means that you have a flexibility, you're understanding, you're using that in this context, use this method in that context. So when we talk about data handling, it's not about actually writing how many people are in January, right? That is the counting. Counting to hum alag se kar rahe hain, and 1, 2, 3 hai ya 4, 5 hai. Matlab that to children already know. What is the big deal in that? The real question that I think, what do children learn when what is it that we are focusing so that children can actually learn in this area is which is the way of writing which is more appropriate for this situation. Correct. But for children to come to that, should we be telling them that, look, let's do it like this because it is easier? Or do we do it the way, like, how we were also doing? We ask children and see what is the responses that come from them, and then slowly try to move towards the understanding. No? I don't know whether what I'm saying makes sense. Some of us are smiling, some of us are not, but yeah.
We will be providing two options to the students and they will choose the options by themselves.
No, actually we can just ask them, how shall we find out? Suppose we just ask them, how shall we write it? How shall we find out how many of us have the same birth month? Which of us share a birth month? If we just ask this question to children and wait for their responses, what do you think children would say? And my guess is, okay, and I think we can try it out and see. My guess is they would suggest the way Ladli ma'am has suggested, which is the first option, which is to say, okay, let's write down for each of us now. Now, maybe I can also try and justify. All of you have given reasons why you said this would be easier. And I can maybe give a reason as to why I feel that this was what children would suggest. Because if you look at it, Neha ka kis mahine mein hai? January. Vibha ka kis mahine mein hai? January. Situ ka kis mahine mein hai? September. It's just directly listing, right? For each person, which is their month. It's a direct listing. Whereas here, what are we doing? This is actually second order data, right? Here you are saying, okay, मुझे पता करना है जनवरी में किस किस का बर्थडे है, इसलिए let me ask who and all have, and when they raise their hands. So you're actually against January, you have already consolidated. From this simple list, you have already consolidated and written here that Neha and Vibha have their birth month in January. So what in fact one is saying is that maybe children might suggest this, and maybe we should start doing this. And then when we start doing it, maybe at some point of time, we ask them, okay, seems like two of you already have in January. Shall I start writing January ka? Maybe children might themselves suggest, ma'am, har mahine ka likh dete. Once you start listing it, maybe some child might also suggest that we can move over to writing month-wise, or at some point of time we can. If we suggest directly at the beginning ki hum month-wise likhe, then maybe children may not be able to see why is it that this is the more
also we can do one thing. We can ask children to sort out the names, like how many people fall in the same month. Like one of your friend is also there with you, right, in the January month. So let's see how many people fall in that month. In that way also we can ask children to sort out the list, given the list. So that way they can, I think they can make out, okay, now we have to, do it in this way in January. So 5 people, they have their birth month January. So let's write their name under the month of January. So this is what we can ask. That is my suggestion. I don't know I'm right or wrong.
No, absolutely. Varsha ma'am, only thing we are saying is this might come, but only thing we are saying is, can this come from children? This suggestion, shall we do it like this or shall we do it like that? Rather than us telling them, can we see whether what children say and then move with that? Yes, ma'am. Varsha.
Yeah, definitely we have to build upon that, because definitely children will give random answers like that, and we have to make a list, and then we can ask them to sort out the list. Okay, we can take a second step then. I feel so that definitely the first list would be the first one only. Every child, when they are going to make list, they will make in that way only, the way you have made. So definitely we have to, build this list later on to the second one which you have shown.
I think the crux of the point is there might be many ways of going about this same thing. ना एक simple चीज को करने के लिए शायद अलग-अलग तरीके हैं, और which method you use reflects kind of where you are at. So any activity is an activity not because we are going to, like, we are also going to stick this on the paper and make a bar chart out of it, but that does not make it an activity. What makes it an activity is that children are also engaged. Children are telling you how to do. So the class is being led by children and not by teacher. So rather than us telling them, okay, now shall we write it like this or shall we write it like this, we ask them, how shall we write it? And let children say whatever they say. We try it out and then try to move. So finally, we want to move to this. But we do that by conversation with children rather than us suggesting to them, let us write it like this. This is kind of what we are saying. And this is sort of the thing about all the activities actually. Okay, anyway, so what might happen, and I think what has happened in the class when we've tried it out also, even in the physical class, was that we started listing and then eventually children themselves said, ma'am, har ek ka likhne ke jagah pe, shall we try and write it month wise? Na January ka kis kis ka hai, likh dijiye. So children either said that, or at some point of time, teacher can also prompt and say, अच्छा देखो 3 लोगों का January का आ गया, मैं उसको एक तरफ लिखना शुरू करूं, and then you move from simple listing to the next kind of a thing, which can even be in a list form, or maybe at some point of time, the same thing can also become in a table form, right? So we start writing the table, and then later, if you want, we can also see whether it needs to be made into a table form. Okay, so let's maybe shall we do it quickly here? तो अभी क्योंकि हम सब ने यहाँ पर बात कर लिया, किसका है जनवरी में? Okay, who all share their birth month? नेहा का actually नहीं है ना, नेहा आप अपना सच में कहाँ पर है आप बोल सकते हो. Apart from Vibha ma'am, who else had their birthday in January? Which one of us had? Anybody else?
I think Anupriya ma'am said hers is also.
Right.
Yes, ma'am, I had.
Okay, and February में किसका है?
Is there anyone who has birthday in February?
No one.
No. Shitu ma'am, are you nodding that there is someone who has a birthday in February, or?
Yes,
Okay.
actually, our friend Ashima, though she's no longer a part, like she's not here today, but her birthday falls in the month of February.
Okay. Should we also include her in this list? We can actually. That's not a problem. Okay. That's right, Ashima. Okay, since Shitu ma'am thought of her. And what about March? Any of us in March with birthdays in March? Varsha ma'am, no? Yeah? No. Okay.
No.
Nobody in March.
No one has a birthday in March. Okay.
Interesting. And in
April, Garima ma'am.
Garima ma'am. Okay. Anybody share the birth month with Garima ma'am? No? Oh,
No.
okay. We'll maybe have to look at the other section also. Maybe somebody must be there. Definitely, no? Okay. Any?
Ladli ma'am.
Gargi ma'am?
Ladli ma'am.
Ladli ma'am, okay. Anybody else? Okay. June? Nobody shares their birth month with Ladli ma'am also.
June,
Okay,
we already have too many people, I think.
Yeah.
2-3 people have already
And
said.
there was Archita ma'am and Kanika ma'am and I don't know one more person.
Ma'am, mine also.
Varsha ma'am also in June?
Varsha, yeah.
Varsha ma'am
Varsha
also.
ma'am.
I think Swati ma'am also is in June. Yeah, Swati ma'am.
Rachna ma'am is also, I think.
Rachna ma'am is also in June.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mine is also in June.
Diksha ma'am is also.
Diksha ma'am is also.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. July. So now I think for the remaining months we may be quite alone. People who have their birthdays in those months. July, anybody? बारिश के मौसम में नहीं. Okay. August.
Yes, ma'am, Shikha.
Shikha ma'am. Okay.
Okay.
Anyone who shares the birth month with Shikha ma'am?
Okay. September. मेरा बर्थडे है. मैं आपने लिख लेती हूँ. मेरे साथ कोई है? Anybody else?
Shitu ma'am.
Shitu ma'am. Okay.
And I think Diksha Bharti ma'am, her birthday also falls in the month of September.
She said June.
Yes,
No, no.
September.
September.
Another
Actually, different
Diksha Bharti
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. October.
So we have some company in September. October में गरिमा मैम आपका नहीं आया ना अभी तक नहीं आ गया अप्रैल में है सबका आ गया अच्छा नहीं अक्टूबर में कोई नहीं है ओके नवंबर देखो आपका कब है
रियल पूछ रहे हो तो अक्टूबर में है
रियल अक्टूबर में है ना वही मैं सोच रही हूँ आप बोल क्यों रहे हो
okay, November stay with that story so
no I changed I removed her name from there yeah and anybody share with Neha their birthday no okay November में कोई नहीं December में
Ma'am, me, Shalja.
Shalja ma'am.
Okay. Anybody else with Shailaja ma'am? Probably not. I think everybody, most of the people have their birthdays. Yeah, let's see which one. So, and then from this, what is the next kind of a question that we can?
You have not shared your birthday. Amrita ma'am, you have not shared your birthday.
I did. In September, I share it. I share my birth month with Shitu ma'am and with Diksha Bharti ma'am, who is not here also. Right. Okay. So what do you think we can do next after this? From here, where do we go? What are the questions we can ask after this? Easy context के अंदर. I think इस इन numbers को देख के तो एक question immediately आ रहा है ना एक बात automatically आ रहा है. What do you feel like saying after looking at all this? I don't know whether you're able to see also.
Actually,
I think maximum number.
Yeah.
Maximum number.
In which
Yeah,
month?
and which month would it be? Do we think? We already, I think,
June.
have an idea.
June. Yeah.
June.
Yeah, it really looks like that. Okay. But there are some other months also in which there are people who share their this thing, na? Okay. So I suppose the next one, I think, as many of us are saying, shall we see in which month, how many people are having their birthday, right? And I think we can do a little quickly also now. It's already 3:27. Okay. So shall we show it? How shall we show it? Okay. I think Neha, you have something with you, with which also you can show. So here also there is a possibility of actually talking to children about how is it that we want to show. So one thing that we were thinking is that, like all of you were saying, that if in the class, if their children were in the classroom, we would ask them to come and pick up the pieces and stick it on the thing to make a pictograph like that, right? So how do we do it in the online kind of a thing? So we'd asked everybody to get some square cutouts. Do you all have it with you? Have you all got it? Okay. And some sheet of paper in which we can stick it also. Yeah. Okay. So I've also kept 2 sheets of paper like this. Yeah, and I've got some square cutouts here. I've colored them so that actually it's visible on the white sheet of paper. Yeah, Garima ma'am has got colored cutouts, which are nice. Okay, right.
And
So,
I have got these square pieces. Basically, these are foam, Eva foam rubber. I think many of you might have used it also.
Rangometri. This is Rangometri.
Yes.
I think
So
it's also there in your school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to use these for now.
Some of the teachers are using this also in today's lesson.
Okay. So in January, Anupriya ma'am and Vibha ma'am have their this thing. So what I'm going to do is, Neha, maybe you can also maybe write it on the board now. As I think Neha is going to play the role of the teacher now. We are all, I think, students.
So how should I? Where should I put it? The pieces.
Maybe shall we? Yeah. So we can probably talk about the fact that first we can make a kind of a thing, right? So shall we say, okay, so in January, we have 2 of them, no? So maybe we can stick it like this. So for Anupriya ma'am one and for Vibha ma'am, right? I think एक नीचे एक लाइन भी ऐसे हम सब ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं ना?
Yeah.
So at the beginning, maybe the teacher is also talking and showing. So maybe Neha आप बात करते करते थोड़ा देख सकते हैं. मैं आपको बताती हूँ. अनुप्रिया मैम का बर्थडे है जनवरी में और विभा मैम का. तो आप उनके लिए एक और मतलब बात करके लगा सकते हैं ना. Then I think in the next round onwards, maybe children can also start.
So I've और किसी का तो नहीं है. I think January में, right? Okay. Now shall we look at the next month? Yeah.
February में.
February में. So I'm going to write it in short.
आशिमा मैम का है.
So okay. So shall I put only 1 square then?
Yeah.
No? Okay. February. March is also there next.
मार्च में तो किसी का भी नहीं है.
Oh, so what shall we do? Shall we write March or shall we not write March? But किसी का बर्थडे तो है नहीं तो लिखना क्यों है फिर?
So that we can mute पे बोल रहा है. Sorry.
I guess we can't skip the month. We have to tell them that in March nobody there is no birthday in this month. So that's also a number. Like 0 is also a number. They should know.
Okay. So I've written. So I'll not put any square pieces, right? Okay. So I've written March. Okay. Shall
you
we
can
move?
Ma'am, you can put a cross also. ऐसे chalk से.
Shall I put a cross? What do everyone think?
बताओ.
I think we can leave it like that.
Leave it blank, ma'am.
Okay. तो मे बी हम सोच सकते हैं वाई विभा मैम आपको क्यों लग रहा है क्रॉस लगाना चाहिए यहाँ पे?
Clearly means cross they know that there is nothing. Cross means nothing. Means for अगर child के point of view से हम सोचते हैं I feel that way.
Okay.
But blank also means that there is nothing because
nothing means nobody is had. Cross means in the month of March no one is having birthday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then shall we leave it like this?
Okay, we can leave also. No issue.
We can leave it
like this.
Okay. Okay. So shall I move to the next month, April?
Yeah.
So April, who all has birthday?
गरिमा मैम का बर्थडे है.
Only one person has it?
Yeah, seems like from our group. Only one person.
So I've put one piece over here. ठीक है. Next. Next क्या
and maybe
आएगा?
ऐसे 3-4 करने के बाद, what do you think that maybe we can keep it? Now we can keep the list, and all the children can be asked to also make it in their own sheets. Teacher can also parallelly do on the board, but children can also do it in their own sheets. 3-4 साथ में बनाने के बाद. Yeah, do you think would that be okay? Children would be ready to do it by themselves. Yeah, so I'm just मैं ऐसे पिन कर रही हूँ मेरा स्क्रीन क्योंकि शायद इतना आपको दिख रहा है पता नहीं.
हाँ दिख रहा है.
Ma'am, we have to make just like Neha ma'am has made.
Yeah.
Do we have to make just like she is making on her board?
You want to make it in a different way?
No, I'm asking we have to repeat the same method.
No, you can make it in a different way if you like. Which method do you want to do it by? Whichever method you want to do it in, you can do it. Basically, we want to see how many people have their birthdays in which month, which is the month in which many children might have their birthdays. So we want to see this. So in whichever way, if you feel like showing it, you can show it.
I have made it till July.
Yeah, I think that's good enough also. We can stop. I was also going to say that we can stop after a couple of times. Maybe we can all make till July and then stop.
तो mine was not coming in one thing, so मैंने उसके नीचे भी थोड़ा बना दिया है. So mine is done till December.
नहीं तो टाइमिंग के लिए ना, इनको खत्म कर दो तो मैं पूछती हूँ.
उसको बोलो कि ये अगर करेंगे तो मैम क्लास तो खत्म हो जाएगी.
No.
Yeah, shall we stop here? I think we can all stop and yeah. Swati ma'am has also done it with I think some nice cutouts, so pieces. So yeah. Okay, Garima ma'am has also used. Nice. Okay. So yeah, actually, if children have rangometry with them or something else equivalent, maybe blocks also, that would also work. If not, of course, I've done it with a sheet of paper. So I'll just tuck it. If they don't have anything like that, they can then do it in this way. So yeah. So what is the kind of a thing that do you think after this we can talk about also? All children have with them in their hands also, the chart that they have made. What are the kind of conversations we can have after this? Right? Nice.
Yes.
So what are the kind of conversations we can have after this?
most of us have done it. Yeah.
Please say, what do you think? What are the kind of questions that we can talk about?
I think they can compare the month with the least number of birthday and the month with the maximum number of birthday.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
The months with same number of birthdays. Like we have one birthday in 3 months: February, August, and December. October as well. Sorry. So
And like no birthdays, which month having no birthday? Go check that too.
Or in which month we have a maximum number of birthdays and the least number of birthdays, that we can also put questions.
Yeah. So I think those kind of conversations are all also possible. I think Shitu ma'am was also saying that maybe she was saying that she might wanted to show it in a different way. Or somebody said they wanted to show it in a different way. No? I thought you had said that.
Oh, no, I asked you that do we have to make it in the same manner, or like do we have to replicate it, or can we just try out something else?
Yeah. So did you try out something else which you'd like to
No,
share
no,
with
no.
everyone else?
I have replicated the same.
Oh, you okay? You had something in mind which you wanted to try out?
No, actually, when you said that we have to do it in a same, because I thought whatever Neha ma'am was doing is the most easiest way. So I tried the same one. I didn't thought about it that how can I change it in for a better thing.
But definitely, I think if in the class, if any child says that, I'll show it like this or I have something else, then definitely I think the point is that we say, yes, please try it out. And then we have a conversation about it, right? How did you show it? What was the kind of a thing? Acha, isme to aisa karke aisa aasan ho gaya, ya acha, isme ye aasan hai. Whatever it might be. So the point is that there is a space for children to also do it and show it in their own ways. So the idea was not to replicate what Neha was doing. So even as a teacher or whatever, what maybe we could do is that we may be doing it on the board, but we may not want to show that to children at the same time, right? We can keep the list itself. So all of us are making it together. No, so in the class we would all make it together, but unfortunately right now we are not in the class together. So how do we make it together? The way we could do it is that each of us has a sheet of paper and we are all doing it, right? So I mean that was the idea. So it's not that Neha's was showing and we were copying it. Neha's also doing it. We are all also doing it. We are all trying to figure it out. So we are all working on it, kind of. That's the sense in which it was kind of. Yeah. So maybe a simple kind of a context, and we were thinking that this is one way in which also you're looking at the in a very loose sense, at least the months in the year also, and at some kind of a data handling. Yeah. Okay. So I think maybe shall we move to the next kind of activity, or Neha, do you want to talk about something more about this?
I think I just want to highlight one more, the same thing actually that we have been talking, because the context that you all were also mentioning, right? Ki maybe that question that Anupriya ma'am mentioned in the beginning, ki how many of us will, like attending online classes and offline classes. That's also a very simple and nice way of collecting data, and then trying to see what and how we can go about it. And then there can be, like many of you said, no, the children might say online classes hi sahi hai. So why do you think they might say this, right? So this kind of analysis also comes. So data ko hame kaise dikhana hai, it changes the whole outlook towards a particular idea that we have. So this was a very simple activity. I think many of you might have also tried it already, something not very new in that aspect. But the only point is, when we are taking the data in the beginning from children, it might come, you just make a list of, on which month, in which child has birthday in which month. And then from that we move to sort of consolidating it and organizing it in a way that, January May we have 3 people who have birthdays, In February there is no one, in March there is one person. So from collecting a very simple, very basic list sort of a data, we are moving to consolidating it and organizing it. And then we are moving it further to organize in a bar graph, which actually gives in just one go, it's giving you the outlook, okay, which month has more birthdays, which month has less birthdays, right? So this whole journey is what we are talking about. And I think Amrita also started with the idea of the journey. So rather than Amrita telling it to us, कि अच्छा we have to do this, अच्छा let's start, okay किस month में किसका birthday है, we'll try to do this and then we'll put it like this, है ना, papers को ऐसे paste कर देंगे. So rather than telling it to us or telling it to children, the idea is that being a part of that journey along with the children, ना उनसे लेके फिर उसको organize करना और उसको represent करना. क्योंकि अभी तो as we are very less, we are like 14-15 of us over here who are sharing the birthdays, but in the class it will be more, right? तो वहाँ पे यहाँ पे हमें पता था जब हमने second level of organize किया कि जून में सबसे ज़्यादा birthdays हैं, but maybe in the class it will not be so clear cut. शायद उसके लिए एक ज़रूरत फिर से emerge होगा to represent it in a way where you can see it very distinctively. So yeah, I just wanted to sort of wind up what all we have done since the beginning. So Amrita, shall we move further, teachers? Yeah. Okay, I think do we need a break or something? Like many of us have turned off the videos, so just wanted to check.
No, ma'am, we can continue.
Yeah.
Shall we take a 5-minute break and come back or something? I think maybe
No, ma'am. We
or-
are having no break, ma'am.
Ma'am, we have some network issue here in the school. Little bit of network issue sometimes coming. That is the reason sometimes video gets off and all.
And they all are having tea and cookies. So
Yes,
we
have.
don't need any break, ma'am.
We
You
got
can
it.
carry on.
So okay, so I'll move further to one next set of questions that I have actually. So for that, I want all of you, if you can just put on your videos, and also if you have a pen, paper, and or maybe a bold marker or a sketch pen if you have with you. Yeah. Okay. Amrita, you also.
Sorry, Neha ma'am, there is some
Yes.
problem with my network. I'm on Wi-Fi, so if I'll switch on my video, then my audio will be
Diksha,
a
you
problem.
can type in the chat box. That's
Okay.
perfectly fine, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be looking at the chat box also. So is everyone ready with a notebook, sheet of paper, and a marker or a sketch pen? Okay. So okay, now let me first give you a sort of disclaimer. This is not exactly how we will do it with children, but I'm just doing a sort of rapid fire with all of us. Okay. Yeah. You want to stay unmuted, you can stay unmuted, and whatever is the thing. So I'm going to ask some questions. You have to just write the answers and then show it to me on the screen. Okay, so once you all are set and ready, so just give me a thumbs up. Then I will start. Amrita, I hope you also have a sketch pen or a marker. Yeah. Okay. So specific instruction, Amrita, bada likhna, so that I can see. Okay. Yeah. So the first question is, in which all months do you wear sweaters?
This wasn't clear.
Ma'am,
Can you please repeat the question?
In
Ma'am,
which
please.
all months do you wear sweater? Sweater, jacket, sweater, anything? Okay. I can see Anupriya ma'am's response. Others also? Okay. We'll keep it on the screen. We'll keep it on the screen, everyone. Okay. Shikha ma'am, thoda pass लाएंगे. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Oh, very interesting. ठीक है. So I have one question. Shitu ma'am, can you show us your response, Shitu ma'am? All of us can also see each other's responses. तो शीतू मैम ने लिखा है अक्टूबर, दिसंबर एंड फरवरी. तो मतलब ओ अच्छा, नवंबर यू जस्ट रोट डाउन, अक्टूबर, दिसंबर एंड जनवरी. तो आई वाज लाइक अच्छा, इनको अक्टूबर में ठंड लगती है, नवंबर में नहीं लगती है. ओके, इंटरेस्टिंग. Ladli ma'am, can we see yours also? अच्छा, दिसंबर, जनवरी, फरवरी, ओके. एंड शिखा मैम को कब कब ठंड लगती है, देखिए जरा. मैम, ओ शिखा मैम को तो सिर्फ 2 ही महीने में ठंड लगती है, दिसंबर एंड जनवरी ओनली. ओके. अमृता को देखिए, अमृता आपको कितने महीने ठंड लगती है? सो यू स्टार्टिंग विद नवंबर, दिसंबर, जनवरी, फरवरी. अच्छा, इज देयर एनीवन जिसको मार्च में भी ठंड लगती है? अच्छा, कोई. ओ, तो आपने तो लिखा ही नहीं शिखा मैम.
Ma'am, you
March
actually
में
built up
अमृता
pressure that everybody was showing, so I thought I should just show mine. I forgot March.
चलो, लेट्स नॉट टेक प्रेशर. नाउ नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज कमिंग अप. ठीक है, तो अपने हिसाब से आराम से टाइम लेके विल राइट डाउन. ठीक है, ओके. सो द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज, इन विच मंथ्स डू यू मेक एंड ईट गाजर का हलवा?
Do you make, meaning one of us make? I mean, I have to make.
नहीं.
I mean, do
या तो
people
आप
make,
खाते हैं
right?
या खाते हैं, बेसिकली कब कब आप खाते हैं?
हाँ, कब कब खाते हैं is better.
ओके. दीक्षा मैम इज सेइंग दिसंबर एंड जनवरी. दिसंबर, जनवरी, फरवरी. ओके, दिसंबर, जनवरी. ज्यादातर लोग दिसंबर, जनवरी में खाते हैं. अनुप्रिया मैम, सिर्फ एक ही महीने में खाते हैं आप? ओनली जनवरी? यू आर ऑन म्यूट. यू आर ऑन म्यूट.
Because I don't like it. That's why.
अच्छा. ओके. अच्छा, लाडली मैम इज आल्सो गिविंग यू कंपनी. ओनली 1 month शी ईट्स. लाडली मैम को भी नहीं पसंद?
यस. बस शौक के तौर पे हम लोग जनवरी में मैं थोड़ा बना लेती हूँ, अदरवाइज वी डोंट लाइक.
ओके, ठीक है. विभा मैम, आप तो लिख ही रहे हैं. आई थॉट
Vibha ma'am eats around
you
here.
have to unmute. I think all of us can stay unmuted.
Ma'am, I never miss any opportunity. Whenever I get gajar ka halwa, I love it. So maybe it is June, because nowadays this carrot is available in throughout whole year. So we can make any time.
Okay.
So basically it is a vegetable of December, cold weather, winters. So I prefer making it in month of December, January.
Okay, 2 months.
February also. Yeah.
February also?
Yeah.
Okay. ठीक है. Next question is, if everyone is ready. ठीक है. तो कौन से महीने में मच्छर सबसे ज्यादा होते हैं? In which month do there are lot of mosquitoes?
बारिश के समय होते हैं.
July and August. Diksha ma'am is saying. Okay. Only July. Okay. May, June, July. May, June, July, August. Okay. August. Okay. ऐसा क्या है इस month? Everyone is writing very similar. June, July.
August and September.
Okay.
Ma'am,
What is so special about
rainy
these months?
season. It's a rainy season.
अच्छा. अमृता, आपको कब कब मच्छर मिलते हैं? August, September. Okay.
But actually, I wanted to add that unless it is peak winter, that is till December, January, even then, even in October and all that, actually it persists, I think, mosquitoes. And they come back also in March, that one part, I think. Again.
Yeah. Okay. हाँ, तो but we are talking about lot of mosquitoes, ना? तो शायद वो peak of mosquitoes is July, August, September. ठीक है.
July, August.
Okay. One more thing is, in which months do you feel like 2 बार नहा लेते हैं यार आज तो? ऐसे कौन से महीने, ऐसे दिन कौन से महीने में आते हैं?
June.
अच्छा, May, June. Swati ma'am is saying May and June. Okay.
July.
June is the
Summers. Shitu ma'am, summers कौन सा महीना है?
Peak summers.
Peak summers. Okay.
yeah, in June month.
June, July. Amrita is saying, I think. Yeah. Okay. ठीक है. अच्छा, ऐसे भी कोई महीने हैं जिसमें मन करता है यार आज तो नहाते ही नहीं है. Like, let's not take a bath only.
January.
December. End of December.
ऐसा कोई महीना नहीं है. December. Okay.
January.
I think the maximum will say January.
Anupriya ma'am, November is it? Never. अच्छा, ऐसा कभी नहीं होता. Never. कभी भी ऐसा मन नहीं करता कि आज रहने देते. ऐसा कभी नहीं होता. Okay. बच्चों को क्या लगता है? Do you think for children what will be the response? never आएगा क्या?
Yes,
No,
ma'am. You kids.
I don't know about never, but every day can be an answer from kids' side.
Okay. So Swati ma'am is saying December, January. Okay. Okay, one very interesting question. ठीक है. गरम गरम भुट्टा खाना किन महीनों में होता है? ऐसे उस पे नींबू लगा के और नमक लगा के
हाँ
एकदम
हाँ हाँ,
गरम.
मजा आ गया मैम. यू आर टेम्पटेड हो गए हम. जनवरी.
January. Okay.
December end and January.
लिखना है शैलजा मैम. You have to write
मैम
in
लिख
short
लिया.
time. हाँ. Okay. August. Anupriya ma'am is saying August.
December, January.
February. Okay. Archita ma'am is saying July, August. Okay. तो इसमें काफी अलग अलग जवाब आए हैं. नम्रता स्टिल थिंकिंग कि कौन से महीने हैं शायद. ठीक है. तो दिसंबर, जनवरी, फरवरी, मार्च. ओके. मिलता है क्या इस टाइम इन मंथ्स में? डू यू गेट भुट्टा?
Yeah.
Yeah. And some have also written, I think, August भी लिखा है किसी ने. July, August.
Because in that season, the corns are available.
आजकल तो अवेलेबल है, पर वो भुट्टा जो हम
Corns, not that the whole bhutta.
नहीं नहीं, मैं
Ma'am,
तो
if you
उसी
go,
भुट्टा
Ma'am,
की
you
बात
get the cob,
Neha
you get the corn cob
Yes.
in the month, like during rainy season, very easily. July and August, you get
And
it.
if-
And also in the
yeah.
month of December also, because it's winter time, peak winter time, you get the cobs.
And when you go to hill area, there they are, you
Yes.
know, all the hawkers are sitting with this only, bhutta.
The whole year we can eat.
ओके. पर अच्छा, मई जून में तो नहीं मिलता है या मिलता है?
But ma'am, usually we go to hill station in summers only. So we eat this in summers mostly.
Okay.
No, winters also, Shikha ma'am. I just now had
Ma'am,
it.
in winters we hardly get any winter break.
But when we get, we
वो बाइक से एसोसिएट कर रही है शिखा मैम को.
चलो.
ठीक है. ओके, one last one. ओके. गन्ने का रस कौन से महीने में पीते हैं और मजा आता है जिन महीनों में पीने में?
Summers. Okay,
तो
June.
पसंद नहीं है. ओके. गरिमा मैम also doesn't like June. Varsha ma'am is saying okay. Shikha ma'am May, June. May, June. Okay. May, June. Okay. So I think everyone is saying mostly May, June.
Actually, I was going to write February, March क्योंकि मैं यहाँ पर अभी साउथ में हूँ, यहाँ पर अभी मिल रहा है गन्ने का तो बहुत खूब. This is currently actually the गन्ना season.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
तो अभी I think हम rapid fire बंद करते हैं. Yeah. Okay. So what do you think was happening when we were doing all these things? Were you all enjoying it?
Yes, yes.
Were questions interesting? Were you
Yes.
thinking anything, or was there a fixed answer that you were just giving? Was there a fixed answer?
No, we were recalling
No,
when we are
ma'am.
eating those
So
things.
the answers were mostly fixed,
Some
like
questions.
December, January, for most of the questions, but we had to think, and then we came to the conclusion.
And some
Answers
questions
were
were
not fixed, but very easy.
Very easy. What do you mean, Shikha ma'am? Very easy? मतलब?
Means we can easily tell the answers. That means no thinking was happening at that time. We can easily tell.
Achha. No thinking was happening. Okay, maybe. Yeah, Ladli ma'am, you were saying
At
something?
higher level thinking.
No, ma'am, I was saying
Sorry?
that some questions were fixed. Like
Some
when
questions
we
are
did the winter, the name of the months, we feel very, very cold or something. So some of the questions I feel was very fixed. And some of them were a little bit, brainstorming. Okay, याद कर रहे थे. अच्छा, भुट्टा
क्या
कब
याद
मिलती
कर रहे
है?
थे? अच्छा,
कब
भुट्टा.
खाते? Yeah.
Okay.
So the questions were like that. All the months were covered up. I think.
Hmm.
Yes.
All things.
We were revisiting months of the year. Like we can do this with the students also after teaching this once.
Okay. So इसमें जैसे पहला क्वेश्चन था कि in which months you wear a sweater. Was there a correct answer? We were talking about a fixed answer. What was the correct answer?
Nothing was right
Varsha ma'am,
and
you're staying on mute. Varsha ma'am, you're on mute if you're saying something. Yes. So what was the
I-
correct answer?
I think there is a variation in everybody's answers because for everybody's body is different. When they feel cold, then only they'll wear sweater. Either it's month of December or somebody feels cold in the month of November. So it varies. So answers were different, though the questions were easy, but there is a variation in the answers.
Okay.
I have a fixed
Anyone?
answer for this. We cannot
Sorry?
have fixed answer for this question.
Okay.
It will vary. Yeah.
Even for mosquitoes, I think there was a conversation happening. Ki, was it June, July, August, September, right? या अक्टूबर में भी होते हैं. Then we revisited. अच्छा सबसे ज़्यादा कौन से महीने में होते हैं? Okay. So there was, can I say there was a range of months that we were looking at? मतलब किसी ने भी मई जून तो नहीं बोला ना स्वेटर कौन पहनता है. Now it could be depending also on the demography of the place you are in. Like Amrita said कि गन्ने का रस वहाँ अभी मिल रहा है because the place she is there वहाँ पे शायद वो अभी स्वेटर नहीं पहन रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो when she responded to the first question तो उन्होंने कुछ और सोचा होगा शायद, maybe, right? Maybe अमृता बता सकते हो आपने कैसे change किया अपना position? तो yeah, you're saying something.
No, I was just saying that I was not trying to just initially just think in terms of Delhi only. Then I later just thought I would just mention that Ganne ka ras yahan par.
So somewhere it's also it's sort of a range of months that we came across, and it's not just एक होता है ना हमें we know अच्छा like usually what happens in calendar when we do with children, January to December हम याद कर लेते हैं months, है ना? January, February, March, April, and spelling के साथ याद कर लेते हैं. But what is interesting is what is the special thing about those months? क्या इंटरेस्टिंग है उन महीने के बारे में. एंड दिस इज ऑल्सो इन अ वे टू रिफ्लेक्ट ऑन योर ओन लाइफ कि अच्छा मैं गाजर का हलवा कब कब खाती हूँ, अच्छा मुझे तो पसंद नहीं है, ओके मेरे फ्रेंड्स तो इन महीनों में खाते हैं, है ना? या जैसे मेरे को बहुत टीडियस लगता है गाजर घिसने का प्रोसेस, तो अगर मुझे मिल जाएगा तो अलग चीज़ है, पर बनाना होगा तो वो एक और चीज़ होगी, है ना? सो दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स ऑल्सो हेल्प यू टू कनेक्ट मंथ्स इन योर रियल लाइफ ना. अदरवाइज यूजुअली हम मंथ्स को कनेक्ट करते हैं शायद मे बी बर्थडे से या ओनली स्पेलिंग से या फिर मे बी छुट्टियों से. जैसे मेरे दिमाग में एक व्हेन आई वाज फ्रेमिंग द क्वेश्चन एक और ये आ रहा था, सबसे ज़्यादा छुट्टियाँ कौन से महीनों में होती हैं? Could be, right? तो somewhere to engage with the idea of calendar also. So you were looking at all the 12 months and thinking कि अच्छा मैं इन 3 महीने में या इन 2 महीने में या इन 4 महीनों में ये करती हूँ या करता हूँ, है ना? So somewhere engaging with those months at your own level somewhere, and there is a open-endedness in this कहीं ना कहीं. So that's why I think we brought up this small set of questions. You can also design your own set of questions जो आपको लग रहा है बच्चों के साथ, you know, children might feel even more excited to do. तो वो भी हो सकता है बच्चों के पास शायद जवाब पता नहीं शुरू में हो या ना हो. हम लोग तो सोच पा रहे थे ना कि अच्छा कौन से महीने में मच्छर होंगे या कौन से महीने में दो बार नहाने का मन करता है. But children might take time, but they might have a process of thinking going on there. So
actually, it's very interesting that sorry, yes, Anuprima, yeah.
Sorry, ma'am. They might not share the particular names of the months, but they might share the weather or the seasons.
Yeah. Maybe then the months can come in the conversation also, right? Maybe they can say rainy season and then we can say, acha, wo kaun se. Maybe some of them will say. So rather than introducing months separately in a calendar, maybe this can be a way of introducing also, right? Is it, I mean, to introduce anything also, it can come in a way which is a natural kind of a context to talk about it rather than as a separate topic in which we look at first a sequence of months, then we go into it. Rather, we can start with this and then we can go into, okay, तो अच्छा तो ये होता है जनवरी फरवरी में, अच्छा उसके बाद तो कैसा हो जाता है, फिर तो थोड़ी दिन जो है अप्रैल में तो धूप आ जाती है, पर फिर उसके बाद इतना पसीना पसीना हो जाता है, फिर उसके बाद बारिश आती है. So that kind of a conversation can also come about where you then sequence the months according to the kind of a thing. And it's very interesting actually when we did it with children, the kind of things, the reason why the machar came was, I thought of this question was, this is one of the things that children actually said when we were talking about something. Children had to write about, the seasons and the months. One of the things they wrote about is that इसमें बहुत सारे मच्छर तब तक मच्छर कम हो जाते हैं, विंटर में मच्छर नहीं होते हैं, was one of the main points about winter season, which is something interesting that children had really pointed out. So the kind of things that children might say, so it might also be a good exercise that we can also ask them later on to write also, right? So write about it. So अच्छा आप जून के महीने में या समर सीजन में, दोनों जो आप अनुप्रिया मैम बोल रहे हैं, maybe connecting both also, what and all can you write about it? So children might write different things, so we can actually bring it together. And maybe children can also come up with questions for their friends, maybe 3 questions, 3 questions that they can also ask each other. So this is really a way of kind of connecting, and maybe we don't really see it as something in which there is some very big logical kind of a thing coming in, but this is a very, I mean, when you're talking about calendar means this, right? Actually what happens in the year in your life and for everybody else also. So in some sense we can sort of see. Neha, I was thinking
just adding to what Amrita you propose, लिखने के साथ-साथ we can even ask children to draw. कभी-कभी वो भी कर सकते हैं. So that children really लिख के draw करके लिखना is also there, and सिर्फ draw is also there. So somewhere जो उनके experiences हैं, they can write it down. And this, I think this also opens up a space for children to express ना. जैसे यहाँ पे भी हम लोग, it was not simply कि हम सिर्फ month बता के छोड़ रहे हैं, ना. It was not कि अच्छा सबने दिखा दिया, okay सबकी spelling ठीक है, ये नहीं है, जो भी है, right? हाँ सही तो लिखा है ना, मतलब आसपास है, in the range of those correct answers or not. But we were also talking about your experiences ना, like it was coming naturally कि अच्छा मुझे तो गाजर का हलवा पसंद नहीं, मैं तो एक ही महीना just because ठंडी आई है और खाना है तो फिर एक बार बन जाता है, right? उस महीने में अच्छा मुझे तो इतना पसंद है कि जून में भी खाने का मन करता है, right? So this conversation is also happening where you're sharing your experiences. So that space for children is very important to express themselves कि वो क्या सोच के उन्होंने वो जवाब लिखा है. चाहे if you would have written कि भुट्टा उन्होंने दिसंबर में खाया है और मेरे लिए रेनी सीजन से मैं उसको कनेक्ट करती हूँ, तो in my head I will be like, oh no, Amrita is incorrect, but there's also a reason to listen to children कि why they are saying कि दिसंबर में भुट्टा खा सकते हैं, so they might have their own experiences. So it's important to give that space during any activity, not just this one. Even in data handling that we did in the beginning, through a conversation we are coming to the idea how to put the data. So so that is very crucial for any activity, I think. Amrita, over to you.
Yeah. I was thinking that we had actually also asked you all whether you could also do some observations. I don't know whether all of you had a chance to go out and look at the moon. We thought is bahane, maybe we can all also have a chance to go out and look at the sky. How many of us could actually do it? And have we all made our drawings so we can show also? Yeah. Maybe can you show us? Yeah. ये किस दिन का है लाडली माँ?
Ladli ma'am, you are on mute.
एंड आपने जैसे देखा था वैसे ही पकड़ सकते हैं. शैलजा मैम, आपको ऐसे दिखा था, आप पेपर जैसे दिखा रहे हैं, इट्स लुकिंग लाइक दिस. वो ऐसे ही था क्या? अच्छा ऐसे था. ओके, इंटरेस्टिंग. शीतू मैम का दिख नहीं रहा है, थोड़ा लाइट यू मे हैव टू एडजस्ट. ओके, विभा मैम का क्रेसेंट ऐसे दिख रहा है, सी की तरह दिख रहा है. इज दैट हाउ यू सॉ इट?
Yes.
Okay.
And on 20, yeah.
Amrita, Kanika ma'am is holding a cutout of moon.
Okay, and how did you see it, ma'am? Was it like this or was it like this? That also maybe you can share.
You're on mute.
Like this? Like this? Okay, so Vibha ma'am, आप भी अपना बदल रहे हो? आपने ऐसे नहीं दिखाया था?
नहीं, वो ऐसे.
Okay, आप दिखा नहीं सकते हो. उल्टा कर दो. Maybe turn. Was it like this? Was it like a C?
Yes, ma'am. It was like this only. ऐसे ही दिखा था.
That was a 19.
What I mean to say is this. I'll just draw. Anyway, I think करने की भी जरूरत भी नहीं है. ऐसा था मतलब इस तरफ से था या some of you are showing like this and some of you are showing like this?
No, no, no. Left side, ma'am. Left side. Mine was left side. आपको उल्टा दिख रहा है, I don't know कैसे दिखाऊं.
हाँ नहीं सही है ठीक है. Shritu ma'am is looking confused.
Yeah, Anupriya ma'am, can you show yours also? How was your? आपको ऐसे दिखा था. And which date you saw it on? This was when, ma'am? When did you see it like this?
This was yesterday only. Waxing crescent moon.
Okay. Okay. किसी और ने कल का बनाया है? कल का चांद कल रात को क्या कैसा दिख रहा था?
Yeah.
I could not see. It was black. I mean, कुछ नहीं दिखा था.
Ma'am, there was no moon last night.
कुछ नहीं दिखा था.
अरे अनुप्रिया मैम को दिख गया और बाकी किसी को नहीं दिखा.
Ma'am, there was no moon last night.
She is staying in Delhi. I am staying in Saibabad.
Vibha ma'am.
पर मुझे भी कल ऐसे तो नहीं दिखा था.
Exactly.
Yes.
Vibha ma'am, we also stay in Delhi. There was no moon there.
हाँ वही, that's what I'm saying. I could not see.
Moon was there, Shitu ma'am, but ऐसा नहीं
But
दिख रहा था.
I could not see any moon. Like it was all black.
किस टाइम पे देखा आपने?
Even same here.
Around I think 9:30. Yes. When I saw it, there was nothing.
Oh. And Anupriya ma'am, आपने कब capture कर लिया ये moon?
Ma'am, I
It was
went
cloudy.
nowadays
Just
now
very cloudy.
you know the Poornmasi and went by now Amavasya is coming, so जो moon होता है वो late होता जाता है, it's becoming delayed. Okay, so I went around at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
ठीक है. So so anyway, so I think some of us have drawn it for a couple of days, for 2-3 days. Some of us, okay. Some of us have drawn for 1 day, 2 days. Okay. So कुछ दिखा आपको जैसे आप देख रहे थे उसमें 2 दिन में देखा कनिका मैम ने बोला है तो क्या क्या दिख रहा था. And basically we were thinking whether as a simple kind of a thing whether we can ask children to actually observe for a week or for even for, we can say how long we want, what do we feel every night, where they go and have a look and draw it. They write down which date and they also draw the moon. Do you think it's something which is doable? We can ask students to do. क्या लग रहा है? बोल सकते हैं. Is it something doable?
You can ask, but ma'am, why we are doing it this? Why we are doing this?
Yeah.
And one more question. जैसे कुछ तो बच्चे देख लेंगे बट कुछ बच्चों का ऐसा भी क्वेश्चन आएगा कि मैम हमारी बालकनी से नहीं दिखता चांद, and maybe some of them are living in societies and all or big flats, so maybe वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा issue कभी आ सकता है कि.
And ma'am, one more thing, like if we are doing this activity like after few days now, so the moonrise timings are like after 12 at 1 a.m. in the morning. So it's really be very difficult for them to see the moon.
Fair enough. So I think we can work it out how and when we do it. But maybe I think we can take up first. I think I don't know who Vibha ma'am asked this question. Why are we doing it? Maybe we can start with that. So what do you think? Why did we suggest this activity? So one of the things is that when we are asking children to look at date, time, calendar, there needs to be a purpose, no? कुछ तो एक वजह होना चाहिए जहां पर हम बच्चों को डेट को देखने के बोल रहे हैं, टाइम देखने के लिए बोल रहे हैं, कैलेंडर देखने के लिए बोल रहे हैं. So one of the things that we were thinking about, even for time also, we can look at it. This is the one context that we thought of, and that's what we thought. We'll check with you whether it's even something doable. We can think of what are the other kind of possibilities also. We also thought of a few possibilities. Which one would be more feasible? You can also say. Is that to look at what are the kind of things which change on a daily basis. Because this is one of the things which children can really easily observe, and many of us do observe, and which later we can build up at class 2 level. What are the kind of observations, what are the kind of conversations children can have, and then maybe next year or something when they revisit, what are the kind of things that they see, what are the kind of things they observe. Because as we were saying that when we are looking at especially at time and calendar, it cannot be very much disconnected for what's going on in the world. No, how do you teach time calendar in a disconnected kind of a way? So it has to have some connection with what are the kind of things that you're doing. And one nice context to observe was related to the phase of the moon. So to see that, okay, actually what's happening. So इसमें हम आपको क्या लग रहा है? If okay, one is that Ladli ma'am is raising some question that some children might have difficulties to do it. But what are the possibilities for conversations? What are the possibilities for observations that children, I think, might do even at class 1-2 stage? क्या क्या बच्चे देख सकते हैं इन चीजों में? अभी अगर ऑब्जर्व करेंगे, if they observe for a week, if they're able to observe, क्या क्या देख पाएंगे?
Size of moon. You
The
can observe
timing.
size, color, shape.
They may also say, ma'am, that we went at night and at 9 o'clock. Yesterday to moon dikha tha, but today there is no moon, so it came out later at night, like 1 hour later or half an hour later. They can also point out this.
So, and I think if children are also sharing amongst each other, there might be some conversations also. For example, अच्छा सबको एक ही तरीके से दिखेगा? I mean, हमारे लिए बहुत obvious है. But is it something which is very obvious for children? अच्छा, you are not in Delhi. You have actually gone to, I don't know, wherever. Some children might be traveling somewhere. वहाँ से भी ऐसे ही दिखेगा? आपको भी moon वैसे ही दिखता है? You know, is I think also kind of a thing. So पंजाब में भी ऐसे दिखता है, यहाँ पर भी ऐसे दिखता है. अच्छा, कहीं और पे भी होते तो भी ऐसे दिखता. You know, whatever it might be the kind of a thing. So, and also like you're saying, of course, the shape कैसे कैसे बदल रहा है. You're also talking about the time. You can also talk about the location, कहाँ पर कहाँ से दिख रहा है kind of a thing. So इसी के अंदर शायद टाइम और कैलेंडर को इंटीग्रेट करने का पॉसिबिलिटी हमें लग रहा था. And as a simple home task, while children are at home these days, the idea is that you know, how do we connect to very, and I think it's something that we all used to do also, right, in our childhood. Maybe this is something that we did with our parents, or with somebody else, with our grandparents or whoever. But you know, can we create such opportunities where it is possible to engage, for children to engage with their parents or siblings or somebody, whoever else it might be, and actually do some simple activity, exploratory activity on their own, based on which some of these topics can be integrated. मतलब it's not a very time-taking thing, but ऐसा करके हमें लग रहा था. तो अगर मून को देखने में आपको लग रहा है कि दिक्कत होगा, और क्या हो सकता है? What are the other possibilities जो बच्चे observe कर सकते हैं? या विभा मैम, आपको आप बोल सकते हैं, आपको लग रहा है इसका फायदा है करने का या नहीं करना चाहिए ये एक्टिविटी? व्हाट यू?
Ma'am, for pattern it is okay, but our kids are very small. I think it's difficult. I mean, it's difficult for them, like because there are many reasons for this. So for pattern they can do it, but not. I mean, my feeling is that we should not.
So they may not be able to understand it, but they will be able to see that it's changing.
Yeah, they can differentiate, like from smaller, then it become this much, then this much, then half, then full. All the phases they can understand. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're seeing that every day this is happening, no? Isn't this something that our children can actually see and be in wonder? Anyway, after 1 or 2 years, you will learn why it is happening and all that. But before that, first the observation has to come, right?
Observation.
Isn't it? Before understanding the pattern, first children should be able to see the pattern and discover the pattern for themselves, no?
Yeah.
Isn't it so?
Yes.
I think just adding to what Anupriya ma'am was also mentioning, कि कल 7 बजे चांद देखा था या 8 बजे चांद देखा था तो दिख गया था, आज तो नहीं दिख रहा उस टाइम पे, तो आज उसके बाद देखना होगा. सो इवन दैट आइडिया कि मतलब जैसे हम यूजुअली सनराइज या सनसेट की बात करते हैं ना, कि किस टाइम होता है, वेयर टाइम इज कमिंग विद आइडिया, एक पूरा एक उसके साथ आ रहे हैं, डिसिप्लिन के साथ. तो यहाँ पे अभी चांद को देखना कि क्या चांद हर दिन दिखेगा, कभी बादल आ गए, कभी वो छुप जाता है बादल के पीछे, कभी फिर से दिख जाता है सेम रात को भी, राइट? सो इवन दैट एंड उससे कनेक्ट करके टाइम को भी कहीं ना कहीं ये महसूस करना कि अच्छा कल सेम टाइम के आसपास दिखा था तो नहीं दिखा था, आज दिख गया, राइट? इवन दिस मच ऑल्सो वेयर, जैसे अमृता ने बोला, देयर इज अ पर्पस टू डू, सो इवन टू लुक एट द वॉच एंड देयर इज अ पर्पस टू सी, तो वो ऑब्जर्वेशन को कहीं ना कहीं कनेक्ट करना कि हाउ इज इट। तो अभी जैसे अमृता वाज मेंशनिंग कि पंजाब में चांद कैसा दिखेगा, है ना, हिमाचल में कैसा दिखेगा, दिल्ली में कैसा दिखेगा, गाजियाबाद में कैसा दिखेगा। आई वाज आल्सो रिमेम्बरिंग जब मैं कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि मॉर्निंग में भी आपको चांद और सूरज दोनों दिखते हैं। तो जस्ट द क्वेश्चन मे बी नॉट फॉर आवर चिल्ड्रन टू डू, बट क्या जो रात को जैसे दिखता है चांद बिल्कुल वैसा ही होता है सुबह भी? सेम, जैसे अगर रात को ऐसे दिखेगा तो सुबह भी ऐसे ही दिखेगा? I don't know. I'm just asking this for us, maybe not for children. We can think. तो इस तरह की कुछ observations which leads to sort of a inquiry and curiosity for children to look forward. तो ऐसा कुछ सोच सकते हैं अगर आपको लग रहा है तो we can try and mapping it for, जैसे किसी ने बोला 15 days की अमावस्या के बाद वो ऐसे हो जाता है, उसका चेंज हो जाता है, टाइम बदल जाता है, सर्दियों में कुछ और होता है। सो रिकॉर्डिंग अ टेली सॉर्ट ऑफ अ थिंग जहाँ पे डेट भी आप एक पर्पस के साथ आ रहा है ना आपके लिए, कि आज 21 जनवरी से मैंने शुरू किया, आज से 15 दिन तक मुझे ऑब्जर्व करना है, 22 जनवरी, 23 जनवरी, और टाइम भी आप लिख रहे हैं। सो देयर इज अ रीजन एंड अ पर्पस टू ऑब्जर्व एंड टू रिकॉर्ड योर टाइम एंड लुक एट द थिंग्स। तो इट्स कमिंग विद अ सॉलिड मजेदार पर्पस, आई विल से, सिर्फ ऐसे ही नहीं आ रहा है कि एक टास्क है और करना है। That's something.
I think the idea is also that is there other natural questions ना जहाँ पर ये चीजें आए, natural questions where time and calendar and date and these kind of a things can come. तो अगर हमें लग रहा है moon का मुश्किल होगा, is there something else that we can think of? Is there any other context that we can think of, in which children which might be more feasible, more practically feasible, in which it can come up naturally, time, date, these kind of things? Any other suggestions?
Like they can record the sunsets. And one more thing, like when they wake up in the winters, generally when they wake up for the school timings, it's like dark outside, but in summers it's not.
Yeah.
They can relate to that also.
Actually, they can look at sunset. They can look at the time of sunset. First, we thought of sunset time also. The reason why we kind of dropped it also was partly that it is a very precise time, no? So, आज में और कल में शायद फर्क नहीं उतना नहीं दिखेगा आपको. You will have to wait for a little while, then you will be able to see the difference. For children to see day to day में क्या क्या कुछ हो रहा है. But I think it's still good to see, like what you're saying. I think it's a good idea to go and see कि अच्छा sunset कितने time पर हो रहा है. Maybe shall we see after a couple of months also will it be the same? Maybe every month also they can revisit and have a go and check. Yeah, so that is one thing. What else? Any other suggestions? Any other ideas? Okay, so Neha, we had thought of doing one more small thing now. Do you think we have time for that now? जल्दी से खेल सकते हैं 10-15 मिनट में?
We have 10 minutes. I think if that's possible for us to do it. Yeah.
So we were just thinking basically कि एक हम लोगों ने actually इसको लेके किया था क्योंकि time and calendar and इसका और data handling का topics हो रहा है. But we also thought it's good to keep revisiting some of the older ideas. No? So that's also very important. So yeah, Neha, please.
So I think for this, there's a small game that we are going to do now. For that, I will need 2 teams. So any volunteers for the teams? And any volunteers for 2 teams, 2 people? Or shall I pick maybe grade 1 and grade 2? We can do something
please
like
volunteer.
this.
Somebody please volunteer.
Yeah.
It will be nice if you can just quickly volunteer. Na? अच्छा नहीं लगता, I think.
How
It's a
many
simple
members
game.
will be there in a team?
You are representative of one team. You'll be representative of one team.
members will be
You
there
can
in a team.
select other members for your team. You yourself can select. Yeah, so Shitu ma'am is one representative. Okay, she has.
So I'll select my team members also, no?
If you want, yeah. Okay.
Okay. So Shelja, Larki ma'am.
I'll write the names साथ में, huh? Just a minute.
Ma'am,
कोई
divided
बात
by
नहीं,
grade 1 and grade 2.
Yeah, perfect.
Because
Okay, so who is Shitu ma'am is in grade 2, is it?
yes, yes.
Grade 1, who is coming
Grade
in?
1, Diksha Bharti ma'am.
Diksha, Garima, Shikha, Swati.
Garima ma'am. Garima ma'am, yeah? For grade 1? Okay, fine.
We have got 2 teams. Okay. तो गेम बहुत सिंपल सा है. उससे पहले मुझे बता दीजिए, आप लोगों ने 0 कांटा खेला है बचपन में? टिक टैक टो क्लास में कभी-कभी पीछे बैठ के भी करते थे ऐसे. आता है
Yes,
ना?
so many times.
Everyone knows, ठीक है. So अभी शीतू मैम, गरिमा मैम, अभी आपकी टीम्स को 0 कांटा खेलना है. ठीक है, सिंपल है, कॉम्प्लिकेटेड नहीं है. बस हम मैथ्स का 0 कांटा खेलेंगे. ठीक है. अब वो कैसे खेलना है?
डराना नहीं है नेहा.
नहीं.
0 कांटा तक सब स्टाइल कर रहे थे.
So I am going, कैसे खेलेंगे, क्या खेलेंगे? I am going to share the screen and you are going to see something and then we'll talk about it, right? Okay. Can you all see anything on my screen? किसी को बोलना पड़ेगा.
Yes, ma'am.
Peacock team and parrot team.
Peacock team and parrot team.
तो मैंने अभी नाम दे दिए हैं. यूजुअली हम बच्चों के साथ उनसे पूछ के थोड़ा करते हैं नाम का. But for now, I have given name for 2 teams. So class 1 is the parrot team and class 2 is peacock team. अभी so we have got 0 काटा के लिए grid है हमारे पास. And there are 4 numbers if you all can see, right? 13, 10, 12 and 7. So what we'll do is we'll first दो नंबर को हम ऐड करेंगे and we'll write it in this grid. ठीक है. तो 13 and 10 will be
23.
I'll write 23. Then 10 and 12 is
22. 22.
okay. Then 12 and 7 is
19.
19.
Okay. और कौन से नंबर ऐड करने हैं आप? 10 and 7 हो गया.
We can add 13 and 12.
So that will be
25. 13 plus 7. 20.
Any
10
other
plus 7.
is 17. That's written. ठीक है. तो हो गए ना सारे नंबर ऐड हो गए?
13 plus 7.
19, 20 is
Okay, it's done. Okay, it's done.
तो अभी हमारे पास 3 रह गई हैं स्पेसेस. So what we'll do is we'll repeat any 3 numbers. We'll just make sure कि वो same line में ना आए अगर हो पाए तो. So for example, let me repeat 20 once.
17.
17. Okay.
19.
19. Okay. So let me do it this way. Okay. So all the grids are filled, right? अब करना क्या है? Both the teams have got these smileys. Okay. The parrot team has green smiley and peacock team has blue smileys. And there are 2 counters, pink and black. So for example, team peacock is class 2, Shitu ma'am, right? So Shitu ma'am's turn first, and she chooses to keep 1 arrow on 12 and 1 on 10. So then that means 10 and 12 is
22.
So she will get a chance to move one of her smiley और वो इनमें से यहाँ पे रख सकती है 22. ठीक है. Now next team is parrot team. So now from now onward हम एक ही arrow को move कर सकते हैं. So we will move only 1 arrow. तो या तो मैं 10 वाला arrow उठा सकती हूँ या 12 वाला. Okay. So for example, गरिमा मैम ने decide किया 12 वाला arrow move कर रही हैं to 7.
7.
So that means 10 and 7 is
17.
Now there are 2 17. So she can decide on which 17 she want to place her smiley. So मान लेते हैं उन्होंने यहाँ पे रखा. Okay. Now again comes team peacock. So they can move one of the arrows again. and then keep it, and according to the sum of those two numbers, जो उनका smiley वहाँ जाएगा, ठीक है? So this is how the game will be played. Game में करना क्या है? जैसे हम करते हैं, हमें अपने सारे smileys एक ही लाइन, एक ही रो में लाने हैं, या कॉलम में, या डायगोनली, हॉरिजॉन्टली, वर्टिकली, है ना? और अपने तो करने हैं, और साथ साथ हमें और क्या करना होता है?
डिफेंड भी करना होता है,
डिफेंड भी करना है ना? तो दोनों चीजों को ध्यान में रखते हुए हम इस गेम को खेलेंगे. तो गेम समझ आ गई? Everyone is clear on how we are going to play it?
Neha ma'am, I have a question. Can we
Yes.
keep both the arrows on one single number? For example, we have 20 in the grids, right?
Mhm.
So if I want to keep on 10, if I keep both the arrows on 10, that is also 20. So can I do so?
तो हमें दोनों एरो अलग अलग नंबर पे ही रखनी है.
हाँ, that's what I wanted to ask.
So
Okay,
it cannot be on the same number. It has
fine,
to be
fine.
on two numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. So are we ready to start? Okay. तो हम pick up team से शुरू करते हैं. So who is going to tell me the first two numbers? Shitu ma'am, you can take help from your teammates, but आप बताएंगे मुझे कहाँ पे कैसे चलना.
10 and 7.
Okay. 10. So where you want to place the smiley?
On the first one, first row.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. Garima ma'am?
if anybody else wants to say.
So you all can stay and
I'll move the pink one to
Pink 1, 2. Let's say 13.
Okay.
I want to cut 19. I want to cut 19.
19.
So let's move the black one to the no, that will be 20. Okay, let's move the black one to the 13 and then let's cut 20 in the row of 17 only.
Okay.
17 वाली रो में जो 20 है उसी वाले पे स्माइली लगानी है.
तो मैं कर दूं 13 का move?
Yeah.
Okay. So which one? Over here or यहाँ पे?
Yes. No, that one only.
This one? On the top. ठीक है. Back to pick of team. हाँ जी. You can help Shitu ma'am. और unmute करके बात करेंगे तो अच्छा है.
Just hold on. Because what we wanted, they have not done it.
Okay.
Okay, Ladli ma'am, Varsha ma'am, Diksha ma'am, if you want to give any suggestions.
Yeah, let's move pink to 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it will be 25. Yes, makes sense.
Take the center one. Take the center one. Yeah.
Okay. Now where will your smiley go?
25.
25. Okay. Over to parrot team.
Let's move the pink one to the 7 and let's cut 19.
Yes, I was about to say that. This 19.
Pink one.
Oh, pink one.
Yes, make it. Okay, no. Wait. That will be 20. Wait.
Next time you'll not get turn. If I start moving the arrow, you have to. Okay.
We need to move the black one to 7.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So where
19.
On the top row?
No. It's the final one.
The last row.
So done.
Block कर दिया गया. Pick of team को block कर
Oh my God, Garima.
Okay. That's okay.
That was the tactic.
T2 cross the 17. Center का 17 हटाओ.
Yes. Not the center, the last one.
हाँ जी.
Viva ma'am तो किसी की मिल
Move pink one. Move
And
pink one.
Pink 1 to 10.
Which team?
Pink 1 to 10. Yeah.
Okay. So your smiley will go on?
17. Yes.
Oh, उन्होंने भी block कर दिया. Okay. किसी का बनेगा? Do you think anyone is going to win this?
Absolutely, Peacock team will win.
Let's parrot team, which arrow you want to move?
Pink one to the 13.
Okay. And
just cut 20, which is below 17.
अब block कर रहे हैं एक दूसरे को. मतलब no chance. Okay, back to pickup team.
Okay. So
Nobody's
20.
going to win.
Wait, let me see.
Nobody's going to win.
Nobody will win.
Yeah,
Yes.
move black to 10.
Okay.
Nobody is
black
going to
to
win,
10.
Madly, ma'am.
Wait. It will be 20. Then you're going.
Okay.
Wait, no. Wait.
It's done.
Arey, you have also done
No,
it.
no. It's not
Please.
done.
Done.
It's not done. We are just seeing it.
Smiley from there. So, Arey, I am muting myself. You say it then.
जल्दी से. Pickup team.
Ma'am, please move this pink arrow to 12 and block that 19 for us.
Is everyone okay with this? Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Parrot team.
Move that black one to 10 and block that 22.
We will not allow.
Good job.
अभी तो हो ही नहीं सकता. Okay.
कुछ नहीं हो सकता.
We will win.
So I'll
हमने
stop
23
sharing.
Ma'am, we are happy in this. कार्य रद्द हुआ.
Okay. So how was the game?
Oh, wonderful.
Did you all enjoy it?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
थोड़ा सा वापस बातचीत कर लेते हैं थोड़ी गेम के बारे में, right? So we have already 4:31 it is. So can we take 5-7 minutes more if that's okay, just to round it off? Yeah.
थोड़ा बात करके फिर we can wind up, I think. Yeah.
So maybe any one of you, when you were playing the game, so what all was happening in your mind? क्या चल रहा था? Was it only Shitu ma'am and Garima ma'am who were playing?
No, we all were participating, not
All
only
were
these two. Yeah.
Okay. So Garima ma'am, you were saying. So what all was going?
I had this in my mind that if I'll not win, I'll defend. I had to defend myself.
Okay. And how were you defending?
I was just looking at their step, what they are doing, and then I was thinking my next step.
तो ये अच्छा ये भी हुआ था ना, आपको बोला था जब इन्होंने कि हमें लगा था that parrot team will do this, but इन्होंने वो नहीं किया. Now we are thinking so we are rethinking our strategy. This happened with the last two. Okay. So you were not only looking at your move, you were also looking कि आपके सामने.
Because you gave the first chance to them, so that's why.
Okay. Anything else that was happening? So one is that you were also looking at your other team members' moves कि वो सही कर रहे हैं, कहाँ जा रहे हैं. Because जैसे ही वो कहीं से कहीं move कर रहे थे, you were also feeling happy or you were like अरे इन्होंने हमारा block कर दिया. ऐसी feelings आ रही थी. Okay. And was it easy to do? मतलब बहुत मुश्किल था क्या? Game मतलब addition that way, was the numbers very ऐसे भयानक से numbers थे to add?
No, actually numbers were easy within the range of 20. That's why it was very easy to manually add the numbers. So like if the numbers will be bigger, then it will be really difficult.
Okay. So even within 20, if I say maybe say.
So for the first time, if we are doing it with kids, can we keep it till number 10?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so one is the numbers were friendly for children maybe, and we can keep in the beginning, in the first time when we are doing it, we can keep within a range and then we can make the numbers bigger also. Okay. Anything else that was happening? So one is that we were all not just looking at our own thing, we were also looking at the move the other person is making. We were also sort of thinking कि strategizing कि आगे वाला टीम क्या कदम चलेगी और उसके अकॉर्डिंगली हम किसको ब्लॉक करें और कहाँ पे अपना टोकन रखें, वो सब भी हो रहा था. Okay. So how many times you added 13 and 7? लाडली मैम आपने 13 और 7 को कितनी बार ऐड किया होगा?
मैम one time, just one time.
One time. बच्चे क्या आपको लगता है? How many times will children do? Children, how many times will they do?
Ma'am, they will need some time.
They might.
Some of them, yes.
Okay.
Some of them may need some more time to to calculate. If the numbers are big, like 13 plus 7 or.
Okay. So children might add it again. Like on the first time they might think कि अच्छा मैं 20 पे मुझे 20 पे लेके जाना है अपना smiley. So for that do they know कि 13 और 7 को ही add करूँ? कि मुझे smiley 20 पे ही लेके जाना है तो मैं 13 और 7 को ही add करूँ. तो किसी तरीके नहीं. They might actually add the 4 numbers.
Yes. Yeah. And definitely they will take much time. They will take more time. Like
time, that's something, but also they might do it again and again. है ना? जैसे you might identify कि मुझे दूसरी टीम को ब्लॉक करना है तो मुझे टोकन 20 पे चाहिए, and for that which 2 numbers should I add to so that I get 20? That's also happening.
Of course. Yes, we were more focused on that part ना कि जो second team है, opponent team है, उनको किसी भी तरह से ब्लॉक करना है, मतलब हारना नहीं है, चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, टाई हो जाए.
Children might also be in that spirit of
नहीं
है, ये भी हो सकता है. और उस
perspective से they are very smart, so they can think on that level also कि हमें उनको जिताना नहीं.
But Neha ma'am, actually what I feel is like since we are I think 16 in number or 15 in number, we were able to do it. But since we have at least 34 students in our class, which means 17 in each group, where we have some students who are not like who don't take like they are not that much interested in math, or they don't want to share. Even if they are interested, they are like introverts, right? They don't feel like speaking or sharing their views. So like when we do this activity, if we do this activity in class, so again, like the good speakers which we have, generally 10 to 15, only they will be the ones who will be continuously answering and will be involved. The rest others, they'll simply switch off the video and they'll just observe what is going on. Right. So that is the limitation that I feel can happen. I don't know about others, but I feel that we all have that kind of lot in our classes where, of course, and we are having 6 to 7 years old children, that is very much expected from them.
So what do others think? This is going to happen, right? So how do you think?
Shitu ma'am, how many children did you say in the class? 34
Yes, 34 to 36.
At one time, is it?
Yes, yes. So just making one, even when we had 8, like at least one of us was getting chance to speak, right? Max to max, what there will be like 9 to 10 or maybe 15 times where the child is speaking or telling or using brainstorming what could be the combinations, while others they'll simply observe because they have nothing to do.
So I think there are a couple of because also just in consideration of time, Neha, I was just thinking there are a couple of ways in which we can talk about how to make it a whole class game. That is one thing. But I think that maybe we can work it out. I think all of you also can think about it. But just wanting to say one thing, that the idea that we are not in a regular school year, right? And I think one of the things that we've all been saying is that the way we used to do everything in the class, it's not the same anymore, and we are spending much of the time at home. So is there a possibility that maybe some of these games they can play with others at home also, right? It's a simple game. It's quite a fun game. They can actually play with a sibling or anybody, whenever, and maybe initially you play in the class, introduce it in the classroom, but then give it as a practice game for children to try it out at home also. Everybody can play at home and come.
Do that. Yes, they can do that. Yeah.
So because we have reduced our teaching time also, right? It's not the way that we used to do last year. So, and that these are things. So it should not have to be something that, everything has to be, that is one small kind of a point. So maybe in the introductory class, how do we do it so that all the children can get engaged? What Shitu ma'am is saying is very, very important. We'll have to, I think, do it. One thing which we also do is to organize how do we all speak also. We didn't do it this time because the group was really small. So that, otherwise everybody will be shouting together. 34 children, to 70 children shouting together also, it's going to be mayhem. So usually we say that you can't actually tell where you have to do. So the person who's leading, the person who's the representative of the team, whatever, is supposed to ask, Acha, main 10 ko, pink wale ko main 7 ke niche move karu. Shall I move it to 7? If she asks that, then all the other children are only allowed to say yes or no. So you have to quickly say yes, 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 no, 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 that kind of a thing. And then usually a lot of that itself is a lot of fun also. So they say all that, and then according to that, you can take a call. So something like that also we can try out. But even then, what Shitu ma'am is saying is still there, that some children might not actually open up in a whole class kind of a thing. For which I think
just adding to your one more way teachers are doing this is, so this actually in the first class might take some time for children to set in the rules and understand how it's played. Once once they're comfortable with the instructions and everything, so it takes, I think, 10 minutes, depending on the kind of numbers, also friendlier number if we choose, for children to do the game, 10 minutes maximum. So it can be that on a day we select 4 children, so 2 children in one team and 2 in one team. So today these 4 children are getting chance, others will observe. Tomorrow, next 4 children. So like in some schools, they go by the roll numbers. Some school teachers have a sense, these are my children who don't speak much. So maybe in this particular activity, I want to give more focused time and attention to these children. So that a teacher can decide also, and you can do it once in a while whenever you feel, right? जैसे break से बच्चे आ रहे हैं, they're just settling in, maybe that there's some time, you can play one round with 4 children, and then that's also a way teachers are doing it in this online mode. So I was just sharing how other teachers are doing. Amrita, you're on mute.
No, I was just saying more we'll have to think about. It may not be the ideal thing to engage all children in an online class. This is not really meant to that.
Yeah,
but I
it's
think
not
the idea is that you introduce it and you play it, continue to play it at home. I think many games, I think, ought to be like that, because games are, I mean, like for example, like what Neha was sharing, that there is within one game you're doing, what are you doing? You're adding and subtracting, you can say, or you're splitting numbers, right? But you've done it without realizing you're doing addition and subtraction. You're doing it so many times. The number of times we've done small number addition and subtraction is quite a lot. So this is the way in which number combinations and small number addition subtraction can get really internalized and consolidated. No, so 13 and 7 is 20. 12 and this thing 12 and 7 is 19. No, so this is something which 12 and 7 is 19. Many children may not be able to say just like that, but again and again, if you're playing within one game itself, that's something which might get picked up by children. So that kind of a practice possibility, which rather than doing it in a mechanical way, one can try it out with such games. Yeah, I think we are way past our time. So unless teachers want to say anything, any comments or any additions, otherwise you all have anything to add? I think 15 minutes after the end of the session, one should not ask anybody wants to add anything. May not be the problem. Okay, so thank you very much, and we'll probably meet, I think, to plan for the next year only now. I think that is the idea for the.
Thank you, Amrita.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amrita ma'am.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Amrita. Thank you, Neha. I really enjoyed the session. I was completely stuck to the screen and I was enjoying it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, teachers.